All right, let's transition and wrap up things.
Yes.
Kick Jimmy out my house.
Gladly.
I'm going to kick out of our homes in this. All right, so the NBA draft is coming up. We're right at the cusp of a new season. What's that, the 16th? 19th, which is on Thursday.
The 18th of the draft, you talking about?
Yeah, the draft is 19th, right? It's on a Thursday, right?
It's the 18th.
Okay, Wednesday or Thursday, one of those 2 days.
I think they're doing it on a Wednesday. Yeah, they are.
Okay, so the NBA draft's coming up. Besides that,
next week. Right?
And yes, next week. It's next week, so it's gonna be a big deal seeing it on your solo show, which I hate you. You always it never fails.
I get all the drafts.
You get all the drafts. So anyway, stupid. How did that fall on this day? Anyway. We have the draft coming up, and there's teams talking about who's going to go number 1, who's going to number 2. Nobody really knows right now, but there are rumblings going on about LaMelo Ball being not only going down in the draft to moving up in the draft again. So I saw a tweet from at Draft Express, which I thought was quite fascinating, and I wanted to get your take on it, Jimmy.
Okay.
There's 3 teams that several general managers, NBA executives are thinking will trade up to get the number 1 pick, which will be LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
Here's your 3 teams. I want to know, which team do you think it will happen? Mm-hmm. And which team do you think would be the best fit?
Okay.
Between the Chicago Bulls, the Detroit Pistons, and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Not the team that I wish was in this mix to go for him. Okay, do I think one of these teams will trade up?
Mm-hmm. Now, Minnesota's number 1, and Minnesota so far is considered the favorite to draft him, but this is the conversation rumbling around with executives that they feel like these 3 teams will trade up to get that pick.
So I'm trying to think of, obviously Oklahoma City has the most draft capital, but I feel like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, at least offensively, he's not as good of a passer as LaMelo, but they have similar styles. That would seem like a bit of a clash unless they plan on moving him. Like if they were planning on moving him as part of this deal in order to trade up, that would be one thing. But of the 3, the Bulls, they're really conservative when it comes to this sort of thing. I don't think it would be them. So I think of the 3, the one most likely to trade would probably be the Pistons. Because the Pistons, think about it, how long has it been since the Pistons were actually good? Are we going back to Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace and Tayshaun Prince and Rip Hamilton for the last time they were actually good, which was like 14 years ago?
Ooh, it's about right.
Yeah. And see, the thing about LaMelo is it's not so much about, I mean, yes, it's his play on the court, but it's his brand. It's his brand, in a sense, representing your brand. And his brand has all of the, sort of the young boy swag that attracts a lot of younger fans. And I think that that's really what you're buying. And, by and large, the Pistons have been a really boring franchise. That's just kind of their style. There's really nothing much exciting about them. Even when you had the 2004 championship team, that's one of the most boring teams. They didn't even have a superstar on that team. Just a bunch of good guys who played together and figured out how to beat teams. So I think that in order to inject that kind of excitement into this franchise, I think it's similar to the Browns drafting Baker Mayfield. Like you're injecting his energy, his personality, his brand, his swag, and that makes you more interesting, even if you don't really win that much more than what you were winning. So of these 3, I think that the Pistons would be the one most likely to do this. Who's the best fit? I would say probably I was not expecting you to throw Oklahoma City in the mix.
Me either.
Oh, man, the best fit for him, probably the Bulls, honestly. Billy Donovan is a coach, right? Who has coached, superstars before, and Russell Westbrook, one in particular, a guard superstar, score first, etc. So I think that probably the Bulls, and you have Maurice Cheeks to sort of be your whatever he is, a point guard or shooting guard, to be your guard whisperer, to sort of keep his psyche where it needs to be. And he's got some other somewhat solid players around him because they would still have, even though they might have to move some of these players in order to move up to get him. Zach LaVine's still on the team, right? You have young Wendell Carter. You have Lauri Markkanen, who's good when he's not hurt. And I feel like they have one other player who's actually
Kobe
good.
White.
Kobe White, yeah. Oh, so then that might not be a good fit. Well, where would he play? If you had Kobe White, who actually turned in a good rookie season, you might have to move Kobe White or LaVine if you're really serious about moving up to get him. Yeah,
I think that Kobe White would be the move because LaMelo is a generational talent. Like, as much as we despise his dad, dude can ball. LaMelo is. I've watched him.
Generational might be a bit strong.
Okay, you might be right. I might be going too far. Okay, I'll say this. LaMelo Ball is borderline a transcendent player. Like he's close to to me, he's close to a Damian Lillard on the court. He can shoot. He has a distance. It may not be the perfect percentage, but he has the ability to shoot from a distance. Mm-hmm. He can shoot off the dribble. He's also got ridiculous vision like Lonzo. He's Lonzo that can score very well. Mm-hmm. And to me, I've always been big on Lonzo because Lonzo's a pass-first point guard. I like pass-first point guards. I'm not big on having a Damian Lillard trying to score nonstop. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though I like Damian, right. I prefer a point guard that gets it to a wing.
Now, one thing I do like about him is, he sort of saw how his brother Lonzo's career has shaped up until this point. And the first thing that he did when really given the power on his own to make decisions was sign with Puma instead of, I don't even know if Big Baller brand is really even in existence
I think anymore. It still exists in theory.
But he didn't make that move. He sort of made a move. Signing with Puma is him saying that he wants to be his own man, his own player, separate from the Ball. I mean, you can't separate him from the Ball family, but as far as decision making, he wants to distance himself from that, which Lonzo only did after several years in the league. So I think that sends a message to GMs and franchises that I'm not my father. He doesn't tell me what to do. He's not going to be this hovering presence around the franchise, bad-mouthing the coaches when we don't play well. I'm my own person, so you don't have to worry about him. I'm with Puma. I'm not even with the family's brand. I'm not with them.
Right.
So that was a really smart move for him to make.
Which I think Lonzo's actually probably looking at. I heard he's looking at sneaker contracts as well, and I think that's going to be what helps propel him, especially as he starts playing better in New Orleans. If they get a full season, I think he'll have a better year. This might be his MIP season.
He was having a good season, and then in the bubble, it's just like he just didn't have it. He didn't want to be there.
I think a lot of them checked out in the bubble because if you really think about it, being quarantined away from everybody for a month, it's not super comfy for a lot of people. So
yeah, takes a special mindset to get through that.
Heck, that's a struggle. So